In the mob's world, celebrity offers no protection. Throughout modern history, screen legends, wrestling icons, and power brokers believed they could brush shoulders with the underworld and walk away untouched. They were wrong. From Hollywood royalty to union kings, today we're exposing the deadly price of getting into bed with the wrong people. Jimmy Hoffa. When Jimmy Hoffa vanished in 1975, America didn't just lose a union boss, it gained its most enduring mystery. Hoffa was a celebrity in his own right, a man who advised presidents, dined with movie stars, and wielded immense power as the head of the Teamsters Union. He was a powerful friend to the Mafia, helping them secure loans from the union's pension fund to build their Las Vegas empire. But after a stint in prison, Hoffa tried to muscle his way back into power, and the mob decided he was a problem that needed to disappear, permanently. One summer afternoon, Hoffa went to a meeting at a Detroit area restaurant and was never seen again. No body, no note, no closure. The FBI has spent decades digging up empty fields, but all they found is legend and rumor. Was he buried under Giants Stadium, crushed in a car compactor? His disappearance became the ultimate cautionary tale for power players everywhere. Play with the mob, and you might just vanish without a trace. Hoffa's money built a kingdom in the desert, but running that kingdom was a job for men who understood that loyalty was a commodity and betrayal was policy. Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo was the kind of star you never forget. With haunting eyes and 2 Oscar nominations before he was 22, his role in Rebel Without a Cause alongside James Dean cemented him as a Hollywood icon. He had it all: fame, talent, and a future that seemed limitless. But on a February night in 1976, that future was stolen from him. Mineo was stabbed to death in a dark alley behind his West Hollywood apartment after returning from a play rehearsal. Police initially called it a random mugging gone wrong, but the public didn't buy it, and for good reason. Nothing of value was taken from him. Immediately, rumors of a mob connection began to swirl. Mineo had reportedly made enemies with some shady figures in the entertainment industry and had allegedly received threats before his death. Was he silenced after stumbling onto something he wasn't supposed to see? Or was it a shakedown that spiraled out of control? A man was eventually convicted for the murder, but his confession was questionable, and many still believe Mineo was killed for reasons only the underworld will ever know. His death sent a chill through Hollywood, a brutal lesson that not even Oscar nominees are safe when they cross paths with the wrong people. Paul Castellano. Even the most powerful man in the American Mafia isn't safe when the wolves are at the door. Paul Castellano, known as Big Paul, was the boss of the Gambino crime family. He ruled with an iron fist but lived like a corporate executive, wearing tailored suits and hosting celebrities at his Staten Island mansion, which he called the White House. But his underlings, led by an ambitious capo named John Gotti, saw him as greedy and out of touch. They decided it was time for a change in management. In December 1985, the world watched as Castellano was gunned down in front of Sparks Steakhouse in Midtown Manhattan during the evening rush hour. The hit was so brazen, so public, it looked like a scene ripped straight from a gangster film. It was a coup, orchestrated by Gotti, who watched from a car across the street. The murder of a boss of his stature on a public street was almost unheard of, and it sent shockwaves through the criminal and celebrity worlds alike. Hollywood took note, and Castellano's assassination became the inspiration for decades of crime dramas. Virginia Hill. Virginia Hill was the queen of the mob's Hollywood social scene. A trusted courier and money launderer for the Chicago outfit, she moved cash and secrets while socializing with icons like Frank Sinatra and Clark Gable. When Bugsy Siegel was executed in her living room, Hill became a liability overnight. She fled the U.S., drifting through Europe, paranoid and alone. In 1966, she was found dead in Austria, officially ruled a sleeping pill overdose. Few believed it. To many, it looked like the mob silencing someone who knew too much. Her story proved there's no outrunning the mob's memory. Carmine Galante. Carmine Galante, boss of the Bonanno family, was feared even among mobsters. Nicknamed the Cigar, he ran a massive heroin empire and refused to share profits with rival families. In 1979, Galante was murdered in broad daylight at a Brooklyn restaurant patio. Masked gunmen blasted him with shotguns, killing him instantly. The image of Galante dead in his chair, cigar still in his mouth, became infamous. The message was simple: no one is untouchable. Jack Legs Diamond. Jack Legs Diamond was a Prohibition-era gangster and full-blown celebrity. Handsome and reckless, he survived multiple assassination attempts and embraced the spotlight with lavish parties and press attention. In 1931, hours after being acquitted in court, Diamond was shot execution-style in his Albany hideout. The killer was never caught, but the verdict was clear. Diamond became the prototype for the flashy gangster whose reputation eventually gets him killed. Gus Greenbaum. Gus Greenbaum was the mob's financial mastermind in Las Vegas. Running major casinos, he lived like a movie star with the Chicago outfit's blessing. But addiction and suspected skimming eroded trust. In 1958, Greenbaum and his wife were found murdered in their Phoenix home, their throats slashed. The brutality was deliberate. The mob had sent a message: in Vegas, the house always wins. Anthony the Ant Spielotro. Anthony Spielotro was the mob's muscle in Vegas. Violent, flashy, and ambitious, he became a celebrity enforcer and even consulted on crime films. But his ego drew too much law enforcement attention. In 1986, Spielotro and his brother vanished. Days later, they were found buried alive in an Indiana cornfield. His life inspired Casino. His death reminded Hollywood that real mob stories don't fade to black. Sam Giancana. Sam Giancana was Hollywood's ultimate mob connector. As boss of the Chicago outfit, he mingled openly with stars and politicians, including President John F. Kennedy. In 1975, days before he was set to testify about mob ties to the CIA, Giancana was murdered in his home, shot 7 times while cooking in his basement kitchen. The hit was silent, precise, and final. Some secrets are enforced. Johnny Stompanato. Johnny Stompanato was a mob bodyguard and Lana Turner's volatile boyfriend. Their relationship was violent, obsessive, and tabloid gold. In 1958, Stompanato was found stabbed to death in Turner's bedroom. Her teenage daughter claimed self-defense. The coroner agreed, but rumors never stopped. Whether mob cleanup or domestic tragedy, the scandal permanently scarred Hollywood. Dino Bravo. Dino Bravo was a wrestling superstar who turned to mob-backed cigarette smuggling after retirement. When a major shipment was seized, Bravo was left owing millions. In 1993, he was found dead in his home, shot 17 times. There was no forced entry. Bravo's execution proved mob rules apply everywhere, even the wrestling ring. Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy Siegel helped invent modern Las Vegas. Charismatic and fame-hungry, he partied with Hollywood elites while building the Flamingo with mob money. When costs spiraled out of control, patience ran out. In 1947, Siegel was shot through a window while reading a newspaper in Beverly Hills. The murder was never solved, but the message was clear: celebrity offers zero protection.